Well, we're starting this broadcast as best as we can. We're having a great old time. And if you know these words, that'd be a trip, 'cause I'm making up every word in rhyme. It's love morning, singing to you. It's love morning, you know what to do. It's love morning, we share gratitude. That should be enough to raise attitudes. Welcome. Welcome to Love Morning. Let's see if we are working. I realized I'm like, I think I'm going to try to use this Stream Deck that someone gave me to try to make it so I can, with a click, start the broadcast on this other computer without having to do so much maneuvering in the morning, like as I begin here. Because boy, it's tough to start the broadcast as I'm shuffling around and getting the computer under the desk. But you probably know that. I don't even have to tell you. You're witnessing me be awkward. Yeah, so it goes. Well, this is Love Morning. This is part of the 3 times a day gratitude practice that I am engaged in. The next 2 of the day are at noon and 6 p.m. in Zoom. You can go to zoom.hugnation.com to get those times and adjust them to your time schedule or time zone. There's also one at 3 in the morning, hosted by our European gratitude friends, but I'm never up for that. But I hear it's super fun and silly and awesome. I have been gone for a few days at a retreat, so thanks for your patience. When I say every day I do this, I do it every day that I am available to do it every day. I try not to think of it as a burden or a job. It is part of my practice, and I love it when we can do it together. If you're here, say hello. Share something you're grateful for. Good morning, Razorblade. Hello to you in Australia. Good morning, Gerbot. Good morning, Moosecock. Good morning, Jason. Thank you for the hat compliment. I've become quite a fan of Deedly Boppers or Puffs. What are they called? I don't know. Good morning, Christopher. Good morning, Brent. And good morning, Dawn. Hello to you in cold and sunny Utah. I am here in sunny San Diego, where it was a crisp morning, but it is warm enough that I'm wearing a mesh tank top with my winter hat. Good morning, Suzanne. Hello to you in Omaha. Suzanne says, there's no reason to be ashamed of awkward moments. It is part of being a fully realized human. Well said. That is such a theme of this year in so many of the teachers and experiences that I've been exposed to, and my own personal path of growth and of shadow work. And, you know, in fact, I shared something with Lisa this weekend. I witnessed her leading a retreat, and she's so incredible. I mean, when she is at her best, when she is in her power, when she is in her channeled divinity, she's the most amazing human being I've ever met. Objectively, not just because I'm in love with her. She's amazing. She's singing and she's sharing words, and she's just like, wow. And I shared with her that because I also know her as a human, and as we live together, I get to see the times when she's in her stuff, or maybe even a little dysregulated, and so I shared that it is remarkable the breadth of her humanity, the diversity between her lows and highs. The breadth is just so magnificent. And I thought about it later, and I said, oh, let me clarify. Like, I'm not saying that you have exceptionally low lows. You have normal human cycles, very healthy cycles. Nothing exceptional, actually, about your low moments. But your high moments are unbelievable. But it is good to know that we all have low moments and we all have high moments. And that's what being a human is. And it's really important to be aware that when you're in a low moment, that's not who you are. That's part of your humanness. And then as you practice and become more and more acquainted with the breadth of you, you can slowly accept and love those parts of you that are more difficult or more painful, or maybe you have resistance to. That's that hard part. That's that idea that you're saying of there's nothing wrong with the awkwardness. There's nothing wrong with anything. Whew, that's a big one. But when you are in that place of complete and full acceptance of your breath, it gives you the capacity to have profound love of others in their breath. You can avoid judgment, or even as you find aspects of a person's behavior that you struggle with, you still have the capacity to love it all. And from that place, man, the world is, it's still filled with suffering and challenges, but you can witness it from this beauty, from this poetry, from this grand perfection of it all. So thank you for being a part of this grand perfection and being on this path of embracing all of it. Thank you. And good morning. If you're here, say hello, share some gratitude. Dawn says, we just got home from a 15-day Panama Canal cruise. So grateful. Sweet. Hello, Erica. Good to see you. Good morning. And good morning, Brendan. Razorblade is grateful to be home with family and friends after working away. My holidays have begun. Yeah. Well, happy holidays. Good morning, Gerbot. Gerbot says, I'm grateful for my challenges that have helped me grow into a better human. Yes. Who would we be without some struggle to give us character and growth? How weak would our muscles be if we had no gravity? You gotta have gravity. And more so, if you lift heavy things, you get stronger and stronger. Same is true with the spirit and your character. Good morning, Abigail. Hello to you in Maine, Brendan. And good morning, Adriana. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Caitlin. Dawn says, I'm so proud of your sobriety. I'm convinced that you wouldn't have formed this incredible bond with Lisa if you were still chemically altered. Absolutely. There's no question. No question. My path of sobriety, which is my version of sobriety, which is no ketamine, alcohol, GHB, that path is what allowed me to see and delve into and work on my trauma and work with the therapists and work with breath work and work with meditation and work with affirmations and reparenting and really dig into the places of myself that felt unworthy. And it's only from that place of building up my more capacity to love myself that I felt worthy of a woman that knocks my socks off every day. Thank you, Brendan. I'm at like almost 9.5 months of no intoxication. And actually, I'm going to be trying to write up something about it. So about a year ago, this is hard for me to say, but I've decided that because I am hearing more and more people having struggles, that I'm going to try to be brave and say, I had a ketamine problem a year ago. I won't get too deep into it because I'll get at another time I will, but as I'm looking at my memories from Facebook from a year ago, I developed a problem, an addiction. I was out of balance and not thinking clearly, and I'm super grateful that I was able to get to the other side of it. That has then led to so much growth. But it was not. It was touch or go, and I had been using for a very long time, so it was uncertain if I would ever be in the place that I'm in now. I was resolved to be using for the rest of my life. So it's pretty amazing to be where I am today and feeling the feelings I'm having and being in the relationship that I'm having. Thank you, Pierre. Suzanne says, one of the other great things about loving ourselves is the ability to know when situations are becoming toxic to us and walking away before we suffer irreparable harm. Yeah, I think, the being able to witness how things affect us, being able to be more aware of, I'm dysregulated. Oh, this person is causing me to experience this feeling. This person, and if you can make some distance and go, okay, I need to protect myself or practice self-care or not get caught up into my own state of dysregulation so that then I'm not able to think clearly. Good morning, Painty. Brendan says, been sober for a couple decades and available with an ear. Thank you, Brendan. Chris saying, great job for sharing and coming to resolve. Kudos, mate. Thank you. Lisa, good morning. Good to see you. So I wanted to share a little something that I just wrote about it, but I just wanted to share with you guys. Hello, Faith in Florida. Good morning. I'm here every day that I can be at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and then gratitude every day that I can be at noon and 6 p.m. And I am doing an in-person workshop retreat in San Diego, January 13th and 14th. So, how do I start this story? About 10 years ago. Well, no, that's not how I'm going to start the story. Okay, so, boy, I don't know. Let me just say hello and good morning. Lisa says, I have got to get a no urgency cap. Well, there's no urgency. There's no rush on getting a no urgency cap. I was wearing my hat that says no urgency, and at the pharmacy, and there's this big, all these lines, and this guy, the pharmacist is like, I got to get a hat like that. Nobody will come to my line if I wear a hat like that. I was like, I like that. Brendan's saying it would be cool to see another Hug Nation bus tour. I think I would need to get a new RV to do that, to feel comfortable on the road for a long period of time. But that would be an interesting adventure. I'd be up for that. Maybe I'll start like this. So this weekend, I was at a retreat that Lisa was leading, and at the last song of the Integration Circle, we sang the song. It goes, loving you is the best thing that I choose to do. Oh, I love you. And when we finished the song, I just started bawling in the circle. And later that day, Lisa's like, what was it that made you cry? I said, I don't know. I guess I just didn't know I could be this happy. I'm living the dream. But a dream that I didn't even know I had. And it made me think that recently, soon after Lisa and I started dating, I wanted her to meet my parents. And so I brought her to my parents' house. And after my mom met Lisa, she told me a story. She said, 10 years ago, when you brought me to Burning Man, I wrote a single prayer in the temple. I wrote that I wish for my son John to find true love and to find his person. And she didn't tell me about it for a decade until she met Lisa, and she saw the way that we interacted, and she saw the way I talked about her. then she said, now I realize that my prayer has finally been answered. And she told me that, and she told Lisa that later. And it was such a beautiful thought to me that I personally did not have the courage to have that dream. I didn't believe that was possible for myself. I didn't think I had the capacity. My relationships in the past have been awesome, but they've all been, we've taught each other and learned from each other, and then finished our chapter and got, and next person, teach, learn, have adventures, teach, learn. I thought that was just going to be my life. And I even thought about, as I get older, since I'm not going to have a family, like maybe I'll kind of be in an old folks home with other Burning Man people, or I even thought about maybe I'd adopt a family and be like a surrogate grandparent, because I'd heard about, someone told me about a relationship like that, where they had a neighbor that was like their adopted grandpa. And I'm like, I would be a great adopted grandpa. And it wasn't until Lisa that I started thinking about, oh, I would like to build a life and grow old with this person. But I was afraid to want it because I didn't believe I could have it. And so I'm so grateful for my mom for holding on to the faith and the dream and the prayer for me. Because now I'm living the dream I didn't know I had. Thank you, Faith. Moosecock saying, freezer burn is a great regional in Canada. And it sounds like it's cold too, which is actually on my... I would rather, I think, try out a cold burn than more hot ones. I'm tired of being overheated. Thank you, Razorblade. Chris said, the first time I tried to make a YouTube video, I started crying. Oh, loving you. Good morning, Sam. Good morning. Actually, I was thinking about you yesterday, Sam. I was on my way home from a retreat, and I was thinking about you. So wonderful to see your name. Oh, freezer burn is not cold. Well, it's poorly named. The branding team should work on that. Pierre is saying that soak is also nice. Is that the one where people do boats and you like hop boat to boat? Moosecock saying that freezer burn was like this year's burn. Awesome. Sam says, I can't believe I didn't make the prank list. I'll have to try harder. Good point. I need to re-edit that. See, I don't know if... partially because like the pranks that I listed I thought were all really funny, and the protesting, while it was funny, it was also like, it was biting. But thank you. You know what? There's other things that I did not put in that video that maybe I should expand. Also, I was trying to make it I'm trying to do like these little short form reels and stuff. I should make a video with the protest video, because that was fucking awesome. You're right. You're right. Pierre says, no, it's not the oh, it's ephemeria, or ephemeria is the boat one. It's somewhere near up in the Pacific Northwest. Oh, which also Sam was mentioning, I just put a video up on Facebook and Instagram of my four favorite and one worst pranks. But you're right, I should edit that my 4 favorite and 2 worst. The 2 worst being when someone made a sticker of me crying, and when there was the protest of Pink Heart. Those are the most, the owie ones. The ow. Ephemeral, Sacramento River. Oh, Sacramento River. Okay, see how much I know. Thank you, Sam. Good morning, Lorian. Good to see you. Anyone else have any more gratitude that they would like to share? Something that you're feeling appreciative of? I had a massive jolt of gratitude for my mom this weekend and my dad. But really my mom, especially because of that story I just told, and just thinking about how supportive she is of me always. Yeah. And I just really treasure her. Good morning, Zoe. Happy Tuesday. Hey, Zoe, are you able to give a health update on how you're doing? I've been thinking about you. Oh, another thing I was thinking about is, get this. So Lisa's parents are coming to town this week. I'm super excited to meet them. And if all goes well, my parents are going to meet her parents on Friday. I don't think that's ever happened. Maybe. I don't know if I've ever been in that situation, but that's going to be a kick. Meet the in-laws. Zoe says, I'm grateful for my incredible partner to be falling deeper in love even after 4 years. I love hearing that. Yes. One of the things I really enjoy about sharing my love for Lisa publicly is I get to hear things like that. Someone else just messaged me right before I went live about how they're 7 years into just a mad love affair that sounded a lot like what I was describing. And it's just so nice because I recognize that I'm still in a honeymoon phase, beginning of a relationship, and with absolute faith that it will never end, and honest recognition that lots of people in relationships that are struggling began in places of total deep love. So, and I recognize it takes work. And so learning from couples with success, and we've got, we've got guides and therapists and that we are getting tools from, and just, I think we're in a good position. Zoe says, I'm doing fabulously. Thank you for asking. Healing quickly. I can touch my toes and arch backwards. I just can't twist. That's so, that makes me happy to hear. Thank you, Zoe. And if you see me talking to somebody and you can't see their name, I am live on Facebook and on YouTube right now. We're bisocial. Pierre says, I used to go to Soak when I lived in Oregon. But now my regional is Where the Sheep Sleep in the Netherlands. Also a colder regional. Abigail says, I'm grateful to still have my childhood best friends in my life. It is such a privilege to go through all the seasons of life together. I just convinced one to go to Burning Man with me next year. I so agree. It's I have just a handful of friends that I've known for decades and decades and decades, and there's nothing like it. Nothing like someone who you've shared so much history, so many shared experiences that, where the inside jokes just fly and the love is so concrete. Speaking of concrete love, I had another thing that happened to me. So I have been watching the 6 Feet Under on Netflix, and I just finished it. But I won't give any spoiler alerts, but there was a moment when I started to think about, because 6 Feet Under, it's about people, a funeral home. And I was thinking about what if my brother died and what would I say at his funeral? And I just had these thoughts come to my head. I'm like, I'm going to call him right now. And so I called him on my way to this retreat. And I said, Jimmy, and I told him, why I was thinking about it. He goes, that was kind of morbid. I go, well, I realized that after the dirty turkey water incident, when I was 13 and he was 11, in which we fought, I splashed gross, greasy water in his face, and then he got so enraged that he threw knives at me. And then once we realized that was, okay, it's over. We can't fight anymore. After that, we have not fought. I have not been angry at my brother my entire life. My entire life, I have always had love, respect, compassion, admiration for him. Always. We've never had a fight since being 13 years old. And I just was marveling at what an incredible connection that I have with him. How he's just such a treasure to me. I mean, I know that it's kind of, not everybody has that with their siblings. So I don't even talk about it that much, because it's almost like saying, man, it's so easy for me to get 6-pack abs. Like, nobody wants to hear that if you're struggling with your weight. And like, I don't think people who are struggling in their relationships want to hear, man, my relationship with my brother is so fucking awesome. But it's so fucking awesome. I just feel so grateful for him. Really a special, special human, that have him in my corner, and him as my humor partner, and him as my confidant, and him even in my really challenging moments. I always tell him the truth, and he's always, even when he's scared or concerned for me, he's always there for me. So, thank you, Jimmy. Sarah, good morning. I was just sharing your comment with Lisa last night. Sarah says, good morning. I'm grateful you appeared on my radar again through Lisa's Facebook relationship union with you. I'm grateful for my amazing mom who watched your last video with me over FaceTime. That makes me so happy. Perfect, as I was just talking about my mom. A relationship with your parents as adults is such a gift. And I know that it's not available to everyone, but I certainly, it's one of my greatest treasures, is my relationship with my parents, especially my mom. But now in this chapter, both my parents are just absolutely on my list of my favorite people. Zoe said, to add, I'm super grateful once again for the body's incredible healing ability. Grateful to have functional arms and legs and the ability to do the simplest things. Yes, 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 yes. That is one of those gratitudes that never gets old. Wait a minute. Are you saying that right now my body is healing itself? This thing that basically began 52 years ago, the system started, before than that, the heart, 52 years, 9 months, this heart started beating. And it has never stopped, continuously keeping the systems of this body going. And I will go years without even thinking about it. And yet, relentlessly healing itself. Incredible. Incredible. Moosecock saying, when I got cancer, my brother stepped up and our relationship really changed and became special. Love my bro. That's awesome. Chris says, I'm grateful that it doesn't matter where my head is, it matters where my heart is. Very true. And as I like to say here with Hug Nation, it doesn't matter where your feet are. Matters where your heart is, and we can be connected in this space even though we're not physically in the same space. We got people all over the world. We got Netherlands, we got Australia, we got Vegas, we got Florida, we got San Diego, we got Omaha. Where you at? Call out your hometown or where you are. And then we'll have a hug in a minute or two and seal off this beautiful love morning. We got Charlotte. Excuse me. And I'm grateful that my skin healed pretty quickly. Last week I did a broadcast and I had just shaved and I'd been eating poorly because of my colonoscopy diet, which, by the way, I got my colonoscopy results back. 3 polyps removed, all good to go. Nothing dangerous, no high risk. And if you join my membership site, xxcolon.com, you can see the footage of my colonoscopy. Abigail's in Covington, Kentucky. Moosecock's in Canada. Gerbot's in Sacramento. Excellent. What a treat to have this time and space together in Hug Nation to share this love morning. Can you tell I'm feeling pretty good right now? So thank you for being a part of that. Hot polyp pics. Triple X polyp. Oh. I mean, I got to watch them remove it, which was, I think I needed more sedative because I was very clear-headed as it was happening. Well, let's shake off the polyps and the colonoscopy talk, get back into the gratitude and the family and the love and the open-heartedness and the growth. And wherever you are, give yourself a big squeeze, appreciating this body, the miracle machine within miracle machine within miracle machine, appreciating not only the cells that have generated from other cells since we were created physically, but also the billions, I think it's billions, of cells that are inside us that are not us, little microbiomes in our gut, in our skin, in our eyes, and all over the place that we could not function without. And all the trees that are creating the oxygen that we breathe. We cannot exist outside of our environment. We are fully connected to this world. What a miracle to be alive in these bodies, in this fertile planet, in this time, connected with these people. Amazing. Let's take a deep breath in and hug one another. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of you beautiful love ambassadors, thanks for being here for this Hug Nation Love Morning. I love you. And if you just can't get enough, we gather also in Zoom every day at noon and 6. And if you want to get some physical hugs, January 13th, 14th, I'm going to be having people getting together in San Diego for a day and a half of workshops and a dance night out at Spin Nightclub. So I would love to have you join us. There's still, I think, 8 spots. So if you go to summit.pinkpath.net or send me a note and say, what was that? Happy to tell you more. And I love being connected to you. So thanks for being you in the world. Have an incredible day. Oh, Mingle. Well, hello. I love you. This is like my equivalent of Mr. Rogers taking his cardigan off. I got to take this